Welcome to Law & Order Sports. I am Brandon. YouTube now requires a law degree to talk about the NFL PERNA. A 23rd and a 24th lawsuit have been filed against Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, adding to the current civil suits accusing Watson of varying degrees of sexual assault and sexual misconduct during massage sessions. I understand that the NFL is trying to wait out the legal process here before they make a decision, but I will be shocked, even if these cases are not resolved by September, if the league allows Deshaun Watson to play this season. Today, I will discuss the new and continually disturbing details surrounding the Watson accusations. It's a show about sports, I guess. You know the deal, subscribe. Today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped.com/goodsports. Not only is Manscaped the global leader in men's grooming and hygiene solutions, they have the best damn boxer briefs my buttocks has ever allowed to cradle its supple cheeks. Manscaped is the only reason I ever tried boxer briefs, and now it's all I wear. And that's despite Manscaped turning me down to be an official model for the boxer briefs for alleged boxer stuffing. That's all natural, guys. The new Boxers 2.0 are perfect for anyone, especially if you're physically active. They now have more than 6 color options with bundle options to save money with their 3-pack. Which features the jewel pouch to secure your most prized body parts. These boxer briefs keep your junk snug and feature a breathable design so you never chafe. Just use my link below or go to manscaped.com/goodsports to get 20% off your order. You can always get the Performance Package bundle, which include a pair of the Boxer 2.0s. Manscaped. Now, the court of public opinion matters to the NFL. It's important. And at this point, ignoring the disgusting details continually emerging about Deshaun Watson from 24 different women is not an option for the league. I believe the league will act soon, and I also believe Watson could be banned, not just suspended, from the league. And it's important to remember Watson didn't play last season in 2021 because he refused to, not because the NFL was punishing him. So please stop saying, the dude already was punished. He already was punished. Dude served his time. No, he literally did not. Why are we so dumb as a species? Why do we ignore facts when they are right there for us to consume? Now, those idiots are probably the same idiots that still think this is a conspiracy lawsuit the Houston Texans conjured because they were mad that Watson wanted to be traded. And I know Jack Easterby looks like the kind of guy who has a few skeletons in his closet. But remember, he just has actual skeletons in his closet. No way he has the time to work side by side with Cal McNair to execute one of the most elaborate smear campaigns in NFL history. These doofuses can't even figure out NFL free agency. And we want to credit them like MI5 operatives? I don't think so. What's actually new with the Watson lawsuit are the 2 new claims. The original 22 claims against Watson have existed for over a year now. I think everyone watching is familiar with that. A 24th lawsuit was added today following the 23rd last week. The 23rd lawsuit was filed after the plaintiff changed her mind about not filing. She watched the HBO Real Sports piece about Watson and decided to follow through with her claim. The last time an HBO show had an impact this big on the real world was when thousands of parents named their daughters Khaleesi. And a few of the really weird families that named their kids Jaime and Cersei. Anyway, the plaintiff's lawyer, Tony Busby, gave this statement. Today, we filed the 24th case alleging sexual misconduct against Deshaun Watson. The allegations made in this new case are strikingly similar to those made by many of the other victims. Lost in the media frenzy surrounding Deshaun Watson is that these are 24 strong, courageous women who, despite ridicule, legal shenanigans, and intense media scrutiny, continue to stand firm for what is right. Now, setting aside the legal wrangling, the complicity of the NFL, or the failures of the criminal justice system, the resounding story that should be told here is that these women are true heroes. I will say again, our entire team is incredibly proud to represent these women, and we look forward to the day when we can lay out their cases in detail in front of a jury. I honestly think we've become a bit desensitized to this case. As expected, a 24th lawsuit has been filed against Watson. I didn't expect that. 22 seemed like an unfathomable number to me. Have athletes been exploited for monetary gains? Yes, that has and will occur. But if after everything that's out there about this case, you still can't believe these women, I surely can't help you. Peter King, who was around for the Ricky Williams draft trade and the Albert Haynesworth signing, said this about the Browns' $230 million contract given to Watson.
I think it is one of the worst transactions I've ever seen an NFL owner make.
I agree. I think everyone who follows football closely asked two questions when that happened. Why would you not wait for the legal process to conclude here? And two, why on earth would you give someone facing 22, now 24 allegations of sexual assault and misconduct the richest, most guaranteed contract in NFL history? It makes no sense. Now, details from the 24th plaintiff have emerged. I have to be careful here because I don't want to violate the YouTube community guidelines content policy. I think reading these accounts is a bit too graphic, but it's important to the story. So the tweet is up on the screen at Callan Collar posted it. So if you want to read all of the details from what happened, I suggest you go to Twitter and do so. Watson offered each plaintiff $100,000 to settle. Just doing some quick math, multiply that by 22, and Watson was willing to part ways with $2.2 million to make this go away. That's obviously pocket change to $230 million guaranteed. But that $100,000 payout also included a non-disclosure agreement to be signed by all of the women, meaning they can never talk about what happened, including the payment they received to settle. The NDA, that's pretty standard, but counterproductive if you're hoping your story helps prevent this from happening again. Since this is a civil case, monetary damages are all that can be rewarded. If Watson is found guilty by the jury, the only appropriate thing to do is to allow him to keep playing football. That way we are not robbed of his amazing athletic gifts. The caveat, the plaintiffs are awarded $230 million. Now initially the Miami Dolphins were interested in trading for Deshaun Watson last season, if and only if though he settled his cases. And that is why Watson and his legal counsel tried to settle the claims, and according to Mike Florio, 18 of the plaintiffs agreed to that $100,000 sum. 4 at the time would not agree, and Watson wanted an all or nothing deal. Which is the same thing that arrogant prick told the Cleveland Browns too, isn't it? I should also remind you that the Browns protected Deshaun Watson's money, structuring his contract in a way that would allow him to lose the absolute minimum in 2022, this season, if he is suspended. I will also remind you that the Browns did their own research on Deshaun Watson by not talking to a single one of the women accusing him before signing him. A shit-stained move, browner than their name. Now, last week, Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, claimed sexual activity during a massage is not a crime. This is one of those things where you can technically be right, but still very, very wrong. Also, I think if your name is Rusty Hardin, you need to excuse yourself from representing alleged sex criminals. That's just my 2 cents though. It's too on the nose of a name in a disgusting way. Not in a cute way, like if you were a personal injury lawyer with the last name Whiplash. Also, Deshaun Watson is not being accused of receiving consensual happy endings after a massage. He's accused of a gamut of inappropriate sexual behavior during massage sessions. In my opinion, it's a matter of not if, but when the NFL swings the hammer and suspends Deshaun Watson. I don't think this is a 6-game suspension like it was floated last year if Watson were able to settle the cases. This has to be a year-long suspension minimum. The testimonies are pretty overwhelming, and I don't think the NFL can, in good conscience, let Watson play a single snap in 2022. Of course, this is the NFL we're talking about, so a good conscience isn't a huge factor in this equation. This is a league where Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and Jameis Winston all got multiple chances after each one of them settled sexual assault cases. And we overuse this saying for the league about punishment that the NFL will only act if there is video evidence. Now that has been mostly true, but this case could have that in the details of the women's stories. Each one of these cases will go to trial. I just did jury duty, so that's going to take a very long time to play out. Our case was simple, and it took way too long. If you're the Browns, at what point would you have to cut bait? Too bad they didn't already have a quarterback on their roster who won them their first playoff game in 30 years and was willing to play through injury for his team. Too bad. The decision to give an alleged sex criminal $230 million may end up being the worst personnel decision ever. Yes, I think it could be worse than Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, and again Albert Haynesworth combined. Sadly, this type of all-time dumb decision is on par with the history of the Cleveland Browns and their cursed franchise. This is a move that could hamstring Cleveland for years if Watson doesn't play. Or shit, what if he's not even good? This is a QB who hasn't thrown a real in-game pass since 2020, and he might not throw one again until 2023, maybe even longer. There's no guarantee he's the same player he was in Houston. There's really no precedent for a quarterback missing 2 seasons and coming back to be the same player. To me, the only way the NFL can justify letting Deshaun Watson back on the field is if all 24 of these cases go through the trial and all 24 result in not guilty verdicts. I mean, I think Roger Goodell needs to just place Deshaun Watson on the NFL commissioner's exempt list. This is why that thing was put in place. Let Watson get paid leave, yes, while this works its way through the court. That could cost Watson the 2022 season. But then, I think the NFL should suspend Deshaun Watson for every guilty verdict that comes back. A year for each one. And there you have the Deshaun Watson updates. I was going to do an Antonio Brown episode today, but this news pushed that back. But the AB episode will be coming up tomorrow, I believe. And it's a doozy.